Hey guys, it's Fee. So I haven't been on here for I think about a month. I've been slacking off. I keep meaning to come on here and update you guys, and then I forget, or life gets in the way, or I say, oh, you know what, I'll wait until the next thing happens and then I'll put it all together, and here I am 4 weeks later. So I have a whole bunch of stuff to update you guys on, and I'm hoping I don't forget anything. Last I left off, I was waiting for a HSG test. I was waiting for a script for birth control, and I was about to do a blood draw to retest my prolactin. Since then, all kinds of stuff has happened. So, all right, here we go. We did retest the prolactin, and if you look at my last video, which I will link below, my prolactin was a little bit higher than it was supposed to be. I guess whatever the measurement is, it's supposed to be 25, and I was like 27.2, I think. But they said that to measure that properly, it has to be a fasting blood draw, and it has to be before you ovulate, because I guess your prolactin is naturally higher the last half of your cycle. So I did redo that, and it dropped to like 17, which is exactly what they were looking for. I did a lot of research on that. I guess a high prolactin does have links to infertility. Did not know that. So I passed that one with flying colors. Then I was given the birth control. I have now been on it for 3.5, almost 4 weeks. Almost, not quite. And I went back for an ultrasound at 3 weeks after taking the birth control, and drum roll, the cysts are gone. All of them, they're gone. I had 3 of them, pretty sizable, and they're gone. So I was like completely amazed by that. I know birth control prevents you from ovulating, so in my case that would have prevented a 4th cyst, since my eggs are turning into cysts instead of releasing. But I really had my doubts that it was going to get rid of the cysts I already had that fast, because they were not small. So that's awesome. That was the next hurdle. Passed that one with flying colors. And then next was the HSG, which is the test to see if your tubes are clear. They inject you with, sorry, my door was about to open. They inject you with iodine up in your girly parts. And the concept is, if the dye falls out, then all your tubes are clear. Problem. I'm allergic to shrimp. And shrimp and iodine can sometimes have a correlation, not all the time, but my RE was a little bit paranoid. He wanted me to go to an allergist, double check the shrimp thing, and just in case I ended up being allergic to iodine, to pretty much pump me full of allergy meds to make sure I did not have a reaction. My initial reaction, speaking of which, was that I thought the iodine was going to be fine, because I have had MRIs with contrast in them before for my back, and I did not have a problem. But they told me that the iodine that they use during an HSG test is a lot more and more concentrated, I guess. So anyhow, I went to the allergist. Not only did he find out that I was allergic to shrimp, I was allergic to like a list a mile long of things, most of which I didn't even know I was allergic to. But of course, you know, the power of suggestion, now that he pointed it all out, I'm kind of noticing things. And so that's kind of led me down another path. I'm going to end up on allergy shots, but maybe it'll help all my sinus issues that I've always had. But long story short, excuse me. 3 days before the HSG, I was pumped with progesterone and Benadryl and Zyrtec and all kinds of stuff. And the morning of, I had to take 60 milligrams of prednisone. And if you know anything about prednisone, that's a pretty good amount. And I don't think I had a reaction. I mean, nothing made me, cry out in excruciating pain, aside from the normal HSG issues. But I did pass the HSG. My tubes are fine. Tubes are clear. Awesome. I will say that I was warned about the HSG. Someone even told me that they offer their condolences because a lot of people have a lot of pain with that test. There really should be a better way to do it. It can cause a lot of cramping. I really didn't have that problem, or at least nothing that I couldn't handle, but the actual procedure, which thankfully was only about 5 minutes long, the actual procedure was pretty painful, I'm not going to lie. I really hope I don't have to go through that ever again. But I did pass, so tubes are clear, and from there on out, they wanted to start IVF. They said I'd been on the birth control long enough, we'd passed all the tests, they wanted to move onward and upward. So, and I'm hoping I'm not forgetting anything here. I got a couple notes written down here, but now that I'm looking at them, they don't really make any sense. We had to go in for the first IVF consultation last Saturday, and today is February 12th. So last Saturday we had to go in for the consultation, and they wanted us to sign our life away, saying that we were good with IVF and we had to make all the decisions that come along with IVF, and that they would be ordering the medication as soon as we went in for our initial blood draws. The initial blood draws for IVF, they've got to test for all kinds of infectious diseases. We also requested tests for CF, or cystic fibrosis, because it does run in my husband's family. It's not known to run in mine, but if you're a carrier, you're not going to know you're a carrier because there's really no signs of it. It's one of those genetic diseases where if both the mother and the father are carriers, you've got a 50% shot of creating a child that has cystic fibrosis. We have a nephew with cystic fibrosis, and while he is the greatest kid in the frickin' world, I would rather try and avoid that if I can. And since we have to go through IVF to create a baby, why not test for it? So that's an extra. The insurance doesn't cover that, but I don't care. We want to know. Needless to say, when we went in for that initial blood draw, the initial blood draw is like 4 tubes of blood. Because we wanted to test for the CF, they took 5. And my arm was not happy about that. Normally, my left arm is a great blood draw. I tell people not to draw from my right unless they absolutely have to. My right arm is a pain, and it gets bruised and swollen and nasty. I have no idea why, but the the left arm is always what I go with. So, and the nurse that does the blood drawing at this clinic is amazing. You can barely even feel the needle when she puts it in. So I'm very grateful for that. But she puts the needle in my arm, and after 4.5 tubes, my arm just said, nope, I'm done. She could not get the rest of that last tube. And she pulled the needle out. I didn't even need a Band-Aid on that vein. That vein was like done. It said, no, I'm not giving you any more. So she had to go to the right arm anyways for a measly half a tube. So that was fun. But what else? During the IVF consultation, we did find out a couple of things. Obviously, we know my issues so far, as long as no more are found during this process, which is always possible. My current issues that are known is that my eggs don't release. They turn into cysts. So something's not quite right there. I have gotten pregnant in the past. It was a blighted ovum. And it was a miscarriage. My body hung on to a bad pregnancy for all it was worth. So we're thinking I can get pregnant, and we're thinking hanging on to it is not going to be an issue, hopefully. On my husband's end, there's a couple different factors. I don't want to get into numbers because that's his thing, but volume and I'm trying to remember what the last one is. The word is escaping me at the moment. Morphology. So I have a volume issue and a morphology issue. And I don't know if all clinics do this. Mine does. If you have certain numbers of a certain, let's say, level that they think qualify you, they will automatically do ICSI. ICSI, yet another acronym through this journey. If you've watched my videos in the past, you know it's like I keep saying there's like acronyms for everything, but it's true. Okay, ICSI, I don't remember what that stands for. It's something like this long. But the bottom line is normal IVF, best understanding is Petri dish, egg, sperm, solution, close proximity, the egg and the sperm do the rest. And of course, they pick the best egg and the best sperms. So, with ICSI, they will literally inject a sperm into each egg. So, I'm thinking that's a good thing. I mean, that so long as the egg is good and the sperm is good, that should mean that fertilization is like a given. Or at least the percentages for fertilization will be better. So that's one of the reasons why my clinic does that. And that is the reason why we qualify for it, because of the numbers on our male factor fertility side. The other reason why some clinics will do it and mine does is if they go through an egg retrieval and you only get a couple of eggs, they will automatically do ICSI so that your chances of fertilization and getting an embryo go up, since your percentages are already dropped if you only get a couple of eggs out of this deal. So normally, to know if you qualify for ICSI, you have to wait until you get to the point of the egg retrieval. For us, we already know we qualify. They're definitely doing it because of our male factor infertility. So I think that's it. Other than, actually, I did have some stuff happen today. They told me they ordered the medicine yesterday, so that was February 11th. And the pharmacy that my insurance uses is Prime Pharmacy. I don't know if that means anything to anybody out here, but they said that they put a rush on it and that I should be hearing from them sometime today. And if I didn't, I was supposed to call them by 3. This was the clinical nurse at my fertility clinic telling me to do this. And she also told me that as soon as I know when I'm going to have the meds in hand, I have to call her so that she can give me more specifics. So I did call Prime Pharmacy at like 3 o'clock Central today because I didn't hear from them. And they said, you're still in process, but we're still not ready to talk to you yet. Give us a few more hours, blah, 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 blah. So I waited till about 6 o'clock, and I hemmed and I hawed and I hawed and I hemmed because I still hadn't heard from them. And it was like, well, maybe they need till tomorrow morning. I said, you know what, forget it. I'm just going to be a thorn in these people's sides until I get what I want. So I'm going to call them anyways. So I called them again 3 hours later, and sure enough, they said, yeah, we just finished processing your file half an hour ago. We just didn't have a chance to call you yet. Great. So I'm glad I called. And the meds are shipping tomorrow night, and they will be in my hands on Friday. And I will be calling the clinic tomorrow to get all of my specifics on how much and when I should start. I'm thinking they're probably going to want me to start as soon as possible because, like I said, I've been on birth control for almost 4 weeks, and they want to get this overlapped with Lupron. That's the start of it. So, what I have, all I know at the moment is I will be on Lupron and Follistim and Menopur and Novarel and, of course, progesterone and oil. We all love those shots. And estrogen. Those are the 6 things they've given me. And, of course, an antibiotic. And my insurance did cover a large chunk of this, but thanks to this community, I am glad I already knew that this phone call wasn't going to be pleasant for my pocketbook unless I got really lucky because, full price, all these medicines, if you didn't have insurance coverage at all, it could cost you $9-10 grand easily, and I'm not exaggerating. But thanks to watching a lot of people's stories out here, I was not blindsided by this phone call, despite the fact that I do have IVF coverage written into my insurance. It's not 100%. But by the time my insurance was done paying, in case anybody's curious, I'm just going to put this out here because I don't mind. My cost for all of the medicine right now, that doesn't include if they add anything on in the middle of the cycle, which can happen. My cost right now is $1,423.90. I expected 4 figures, so like I said, I am thankful that I knew what I was about to get into here, because, you know, it's true. These people, they call you, and I experienced just what a lot of other people have experienced in the last year or two of videos that I've watched, is, you know, they tell you, okay, here's this, here's your copay, you want to pay for that now? There is no pay plans. It's either pay for it now or we don't ship your stuff. It's that simple. So I am glad I was prepared. That's it. That's all I got. I hope I remembered everything. I hope I wasn't talking too fast, but I was trying to get under 20 minutes, and it looks like I'm at like 16 and a half right now. I will update later, I guess. That's all I got. But this is starting. This is starting. I am really excited, and I'm really scared at the same time. You know, the little needles on these injections don't bother me. But the progesterone and what's the other one? I don't even remember anymore, all these names. The progesterone and the Novarel, those needles scare me a little bit. But I guess by that point, you know, I'll know if we got a embryo, a Bruin or 2, and by that point, maybe I won't care. Maybe I won't care how big that needle is. just get them cooking, right? That's what we want. Get them cooking. So I will talk to you guys as soon as I have something to update. I don't think I'm going to be doing injection videos because, like I said, the needles make me a little nervous in the first place. I'll be fine, but I don't think I want to video that. After I get my actual protocol and all the IU numbers and whatnot, maybe I will do a video on that just in case anybody's curious what protocol I'm on. They didn't give me any indication that my protocol was, you know, higher or lower than the norm, so the numbers are probably going to be pretty common. But that's it. That's it. I know a typical IVF cycle is like 2 regular cycles, and technically I'm in the middle of the first one because I'm running on the birth control. So maybe in about 6 weeks, the smile right here will be for another reason. Right now, I am just really, really happy that I get this opportunity. I know there's a lot of women who don't have this opportunity right now, and I'm not going to take it for granted. Even if it doesn't work, I am happy that we get this chance. It's all I've wanted. Answers and a path and a chance, and I finally have all that. So between doctors and God, I'm hoping this works. And I'm going to leave before I start crying. I will talk to you guys later. Bye.